learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into October 8th, 2020, and the stock market is getting volatile again. Today, we actually ended just right below where everything went to crap yesterday. Following the Trump tweet and the whole stimulus canceled, we dropped, but then we shot back up, and now people are saying stimulus hopes because Trump kind of hit himself with his own Uno reverse card. So this brought markets back up a little bit today. And then after hours, Trump said something along the lines of even having a cure. That's what he called the Regeneron thing. That's why he feels better. So it was a very interesting day. However, the real biggest key points to note, the levels were at after the tweet, talks with the stimulus, but now also what I've been showing you guys with bonds, this is starting to hint at a little bit of volatility. Even if you look at this one-day chart, you're starting to see the moves are both acting small when nothing's happening, but then getting a little bit wider when news is occurring. So that is a sign of volatility, and we have a lot to talk about. So I got the plays, I got the keys, everything we're looking at tomorrow, and all of this stuff we did today. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it's pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the-stock-market. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, slow days come with the extra side of philo and some long-term rants, and the long-term anniversary is right around the corner, but we hope to see you there. I mean, there's a lot. Shout out to Cole. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to Chad, baby. But right off the bat, first thing is markets went up today on stimulus hopes. Like I said, Trump hit his own Uno reverse card. So yesterday, we saw that big drop after he tweeted out that he's going to be directing his advisors to stop all stimulus negotiations. But then early in the morning, right before the market even opened, he had a huge Twitter rampage, and he was saying how he will take a specific deal. So it gave a different idea to what he was saying before. Again, it kind of changes that whole hard stance he was taking, especially considering how it happened. Again, that tweet was very, very surprising yesterday, but that helped bring stocks up. And then now specifically airlines, he was talking about that, and he was saying how he would do a deal with the airlines, and I think there was actually some other talks regarding that. So then the airlines started to jump back, but now it's funny because yesterday we were talking stimulus being canceled, and now the fact that he did that, people are saying stimulus hopes are back on. It's just been a very, very wild 24 hours, especially when it just comes to this. So there's that, and then now after hours, Trump came on. He did one of those video messages. Wasn't a live one given his health and how everything has been playing out, but he started saying how great he feels again, said it was regen, and he said he took some Regeneron, but the thing that was very different, he said it's pretty much a cure. He literally said something along those lines that it's pretty much a cure. He's like, I feel better, so I'm calling it a cure. Abby, you know what I'm saying? But that was very, very interesting. He even brought up Eli Lilly as well. Both of those stocks moved after hours, and they already had some moves. Regeneron did at least earlier this week, but that is going to be interesting to see if the market gets some response to it. But then today we also had the minutes, and we have to go over that. There wasn't really anything too groundbreaking or bombshell news, no hints really. However, you didn't really see too much movements today, and that's where I'm kind of saying now we'll see how the vaccine affects it, but we're also getting this reaction that the market's kind of getting numb to some of these headlines. It really wants something specific, or it might just be getting into that earnings mode, so keep a lookout for that. But there was that, and then finally, like we said, the minutes barely moved the market. However, today, this is what we're seeing with volatility. The bond volatility is actually starting to enter one of the highest points it's been at. So the fact that you're starting to see this huge gap down, and then now these 3 big days on TLT, which is pretty much bond rates going up, and then the market's going both up and down. You see that was big volatility yesterday, and then the fact that yields came up and then back down again, and then starting to doing this is getting you're getting TLT moving a lot, and this is something that's kind of pointing to the markets showing some uncertainty. So we talked about that even today. You're not seeing stuff. It looks like we're waiting for stuff, and I will be able to probably get that end of the year prediction, but we're getting close to the middle of October, so we should get a direction because that's kind of what happened in September. It's kind of even looking almost like the opposite of September directly, where you're coming off a direct low, getting the first move, and then we might cuck into a range. So we will see what happens. But it was pretty simple. It was very straightforward, kind of boring, but it's kind of clear something's creeping around the corner. But that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, a few sets of plays. I will say I've talked about this earlier in the week. I want to get the REGN and Eli Lilly. I want to see how that plays out, maybe even sell premium. But besides that, I did do a Clorox play today, and this one was kind of interesting. They got some news that they were having this like early detection device for like kids or germs or something. I mean, I liked it. The premiums were pretty cheap. So what I did as that news was breaking out and it was coming there, I got 40 of them, the 290 calls at 11 to 15. So my cost basis was like 13 cents. We literally caught that off of it popped as if it was news, and we played it off of the news there. It did even start to go up a little bit. It held up for most of the day. Sold out half of those at 30 cents, made that one free, so I'm still holding that. I think that's going to be interesting, again, alongside some of the REGN and Eli Lilly for tomorrow. That will be interesting, but that was the first play. Again, watch the REGN and Eli Lilly. Then now the second play, this is what I'll look for. I averaged down on this. This is the Qualcomm credit spread, so this is what I'm going to look at. I averaged down. I may even average down again. It's going to be a little bit risky since it expires here on Friday, but the 123, 127 call credit spread, I shorted these, so they expire, but I was only negative 10. Now I'm negative 20 on this. So in retrospect, I should have waited a little bit to average down, but that's why I'm saying this could be a potential play, because if this one really starts to blow out against me, I'm going to do one more average down. Then I will either be forced to take the loss or roll over, and then this could be a bigger one. So you guys are at least getting to see how this one plays out. So those are the first two plays I'll be looking at. Everything else will be some of the earnings plays that I want to get set up for, but nothing really individual until we could kind of get an idea of who's going to really be the winner or losers, and that's going to be when either tech breaks out or not. There will be some events. I believe you're going to get AMD tomorrow, but we also don't have any other real big economic news for the rest of the week. So those are the first three plays. As far as everything else, credit spreads again. And like we're even seeing, we might even see a cuck to the upside this month, but I doubt it. I think we're going to get some movements a little bit later in the month, but I did make a few more credit spreads. I did that first average down. We did sell these Disneys. Disney started shooting up. There was news. I thought it was that they wanted to bring dividends back, but then it was that an investor, Dan Loeb, wanted to get rid of the dividends permanently and just reinvest the money in the streaming. So kind of bullish, if anything, but I shorted this. This is a next week credit spread, sold the 118 puts, bought the 115. So this is a credit put spread. So what we're saying is that we want these 118 puts to expire worthless. That's how we make the money. So that means the stock would close above 118 by the end of next week. So I got $600. Again, we're going to try to take 50% profits. I did that on some of the plays, and that's what we should have done. You know, this Qualcomm was up 50% before I went down on it. We're still holding that Boeing. Again, that's from the beginning of the week. We're probably going to just take the full credit on this one. But then I also made a UAL play at the beginning of the day. They shot up again, kind of with some of the stimulus stuff. I shorted the next week 42, 46 call credit spread. So by shorting the calls, we're saying that we don't think UAL will go above $42 by the end of October 16th. That is how I'll make money if those calls expire worthless. So people talked about this with credit spread strategies. You guys could see I make money with the stock staying below $42. You know, what am I really saying? I'm saying that UAL could go up from where it's at now, but I don't think it's going to go this high, or I think the stock's going to stay the same or stay below a certain price. So that is the whole logic with that play, but these are now two credit spreads that we opened today, and then I opened up two more on the other account. We took profits on one. One was a SPY weekly. I sold some of the puts earlier in the day. We got like $500 credit. It went up. I was able to get like $200 profit, like 40%. So I realized, close that one out, and then I sold Amazon weeklies. I sold a 33.25 call credit spread, and then bought the 33.50s. Did 10 of them. I got about like $480 credit. So again, not as much higher risk or collateral on the back end, but pretty far out the money. This one's a weekly, so we'll watch that. But got a few premiums on the table. We've taken some, but those are all the plays I'm in now. As far as everything else, I will be looking for some of these premiums, but you saw yesterday with Boeing, you're seeing it with Clorox. If there is some runners or news we could confirm, if REGN goes crazy tomorrow, those are going to be the ones I'm going to be looking at, but watch them. Watch Facebook and Amazon, a lot of antitrust stuff going back and forth. Even though I sold that call on Amazon, there is some positive news, I think, around next week. They're going to have their Black Friday and all that, and people might start getting ready for the earnings run-up. So watch them. Again, I like the Qualcomm. I think that one might be a decent one to average on. Then HD. I wanted to sell premium on that one yesterday, but just watch them in the name of some of the value stocks. Again, AMD as well, too. I think they have their event tomorrow. I think that could be pretty good. Snapchat, they're right next to all-time highs, but they kind of sold off today with tech, so watch how they rotate. And what I mean by tech is kind of not really momentum, not necessarily tech. Tech kind of did good today, but then some of the momentum stocks that were doing better when the bigger tech names weren't going up, those rotated, and that's kind of where Snapchat lies in there. So watch them. I will be looking at Netflix for earnings. Again, they seem like they're leading it. You could kind of look at Amazon and Facebook. Some of these companies are starting to edge up, but it's clear that Netflix is kind of hitting that gear a little bit earlier. So their earnings is sooner than everybody else's, so we'll see how that plays out. DraftKings, we still have that credit spread. I totally forgot about that one. So here's a good example for you guys to watch. We're still in this one. We got clobbered on it today. I was down, it says we closed down 135% because it was selling off at close, but we're down like 200-something% at one point. Again, this was a bigger trade, so you're seeing with these credit spreads, I'm down now $1,800. You could compile the losses faster, but this is the idea of playing with time. Again, this is why we say paper trade. You guys are finally seeing some bigger losses, and now I'm getting in some more precarious situations like the Qualcomms. These are the risks associated. So watch to see how we play it out and use time to our advantage. But watch DraftKings in general. I still like that play. I'm still going to be holding on to that. I'm waiting to average down on that because it's a much bigger position. Then watch Eli Lilly, and then finally TLT. Just bigger volatility. I don't necessarily think there's going to be a play because that volatility is saying that the premiums after this move are just absolutely, it's starting to get nuts. It doesn't mean there's an opportunity. It kind of means once we could get an idea of what the bond market is telling us relative to stocks, that might be our move, and TLT might snitch again. But the real answer is we will see. That is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to embrace the downside. I need you to embrace the weekend. I need you to get ready. I need you to catch all the balance and do the greatest race. What? The Cole loves you. I love you. And we'll see you in the morning. Let's go.